Hey, what's going on? It's Green Thumb Prepper. So it's officially garden season. Behind me, right there, we've got a guy coming here to till in about 13 to 1500 square feet of garden space. So his name's Lou, and he's got a walk behind tiller that he's tilling up my soil with. So we're gonna see how things go. Right on. It's garden time. Yep, all that. I'll get a good measurement once it's all done. I'll let you guys know how many square feet we ended up working it up to. So right now he's using it with the disc on the back, which is kind of like a rototiller, but the discs kind of stick down into the ground like a blender, as opposed to, yeah. So the tines on this thing are kind of like a reverse blender. They're sticking into the ground, just blending the stuff up into circles. And then he's going to put on that attachment, which is the rototiller attachment. Yeah, he tried to use that one there, but what happened was the grass was too thick and it was tossing him around, so he swapped out to this one. So I wasn't sure how much torque that little machine has, but what you're looking at there is a 2-inch root that this thing has just turned into wood chips. Right over there, right in front of me, it's coming off that apple tree. It's coming right directly at me, and that machine just literally just chewed this stuff right to shreds. Lou's rocking it. Go, Lou. This is a nice little machine. You see how he's able to angle his handlebars out sideways? So the machine can run down a straight track and he doesn't have to walk right behind it. He can run it offset, off the side. He says it's comparable to the BCS, which is pretty much your standard use for a market garden type piece of equipment. So, and Lou here sells these things. It's one of his businesses. So that's the way you got to do it, these guys. Don't get bottlenecked. You know, Lou runs this business and he runs a couple others, so he seems to be doing okay. He was busy and hard to get here. So now that you can see some progress, it really puts it into perspective. When I was growing in my last place and I had multiple gardens around my property for a total of 500 square feet, and now we're looking at, well, this massive patch of earth we're tearing up here. So let's say we end up with 1,500 square feet and we have 200 square feet of loss due to inserting paths and stuff that's still 1,300 square feet. I garden using a square foot method, so that's really high intensity. So hypothetically, that's 1,300 individual planting units that I could be planting into. So that's pretty substantial. Thanks, Lou. You're rocking it, buddy. Here's the progress, guys. Look at that. One end, all the way to the other. I'm figuring that's got to be a good 80 feet. And he's just straightening up the last edge with that machine, and then he's going to run it into the divots in between the angles in the fence. And because we're going to grow berries or something along the fence line. And then he's going to run the rototiller through here and beat all that stuff up right to snot. So this has taken him a little over half an hour. Worth every penny, guys. This is back-breaking work here. All right, so now we're starting with the rototiller work. So this is where we're going to turn all this crap into fantastic soil. But look at this, guys. Look at this soil. This is great. Look at the color of that. Yeah, it's soaking wet, and there's definitely a clay component to it, which I was expecting for where we're at, but that's good soil, guys. We are gonna grow crazy amounts of food up in here. Okay, so here we are. So you can see that section right in the center of your lens. He's gone over that twice, and then this is once. So Lou's coming back now, making another pass. Okay, we're done. Look at this. It's about 20 feet wide and it's 81 feet long. And that works out to, give or take, 1,450 square feet of garden space. So the things I can do with this. I'm so excited, guys. I've never had a garden this big. I've always, like I said, my gardens have been urban gardens, right? So I've never had the opportunity to be able to put something together this big. So here we go. So the plan is now we're going to get some great big tarp, and we're going to tarp this whole thing off. A lot of this stuff that's left, like this, okay? So we're going to tarp this whole plot to kill off all of this stuff, right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to pull the tarp up. By then, a lot of this should be drier, and we'll start raking it out with a hard rake, and then we're going to make beds. So the beds are going to be running in this fashion, right? North, south, like that. They're going to be, at this point, I'm thinking 2 feet wide with 1 foot spacing for pathways. That way people can walk up and down them, and people aren't going to be stepping in beds, and it's a lot easier. So we're probably going to do that. We're going to, at about the halfway point, we're going to put a pathway across here. So this is all going to be garden beds running north-south. And then from here across to here, we're thinking of doing cucumbers on trellis up here, and then running rows of indeterminate tomatoes down here. That way everything that's high and trellised can be up at this end of the garden, and everything that's going to be low to the ground is going to be at this end. So we'll have rows of peppers, and we're going to have peppers and carrots and squash. We're actually thinking of putting squash in a separate part of the property. Squash, watermelons, gourds, all that. Those are all in the greenhouse right now. So this is, yep. Here we are, guys. This is a plan, and off to get some tarp. Yep, 1,450 square feet. Yeah, and I also wanted to mention that all of the compost that I made from my house, we're going to end up putting that right down on top of the beds. So we're going to make the beds, like I said, run north-south, and then once the beds are made and the pathways are made, we're going to put all of that organic hot compost that we brought 4 hours away. We trucked 1,500 odd pounds of it 4 hours away. So that's going to be all spread out on those two, and then I'll just rake it into the top with a hard rake, and then we're going to plant right on top of that. So yep, there we go, guys. Yeehaw.